Second. So can you see my screen? Okay, awesome. Let's take a look at what you did. Then I'll share with you my 2 losing trades on BAC with the smaller day. And we'll see what we do after that. Maybe some questions. So this trade here was taken by Joe, and he traded NIO. So look at this. NIO on the daily chart was really weak. On the 60-minute chart, it was really weak, but I didn't add it to my watch list to the short side for one reason. We were a little bit away from view up. I think the yellow line is view up, right, Joe? Yeah, and one of the rules on my setups to trade, especially breakouts, I want the stock to be close to view up. So what happened around here, this thing away from view up, I expected a view up reversal, didn't trade the view up reversal, but you could see it squeezed above view up, and Joe took it to the long side above the break of the range on the 5-minute chart, which is decent. I personally would have waited for a short setup, which never happened, unfortunately. That was the long, nice partials. Add on an ABCD pattern on the 1-minute chart, which coincided with a 5-minute open range breakout and more partials. I would have held a small position left to the 200 because it's the 3rd candle, right? Actually, this is the 3rd candle. Yeah, this is actually not bad. A lot of position out, but still leave 5 or 10% for the strong moving average, because you only have that level ahead of you right now. Other than that, you did really well. Hey, Mick, Lydia, and Green Jean. So Nadia traded a reversal on an IOI here, right? So there is Joe trading this thing to the long side, and there is Nadia dumping the position against Joe. So look at these guys. This was where Joe took it all out at his position to the long side. So Joe traded this here to the long, partial, added to his position, partial more, and then exited. Nadia missed the long, didn't trade the long because the overall direction was to the down here, to the down on the 60, to the down on the 15-minute chart. We are making multiple consecutive candles on the 5-minute chart, and we are far from the 9 EMA on the 5-minute chart, right? There is the 200 moving average, which is acting as a resistance, new 5-minute low with a double top on the 1-minute chart, and a new 1-minute low around here. That is an awesome entry. I like your entry. My stop loss should have been at least around here. Never putting it at the high of the week. This is enough. And partialed all the way to the 9 EMA with the rest at break even. How much was left around here, Nadia? Green Jean, you can post the trade in the question tab. Just screenshot it, post it in the questions tab, and I'll take a look at it. Thank you. So Nadia, how much of your position was left before you exited break even? Was that small position left, or 50%, 30%? I personally on this trade would have taken a big partial around here, another big position around here, and I would have left like 15% or somewhere around that for a bigger run. 30% is still too big. Don't leave 30% on parabolic reversals, because we know that they could make an ABCD pattern, bouncing of the 9, and then continue running on the same direction. So most of the time, those parabolic reversals will be getting you out at break even. I'd leave small position, and then you could always add if it continues going lower. Now let's take a look at this thing here. There is a fake breakout. There is an ABCD pattern here. It's breaking out but never runs, right? Now the previous resistance acting as a support, and it breaks one more time with another fake breakout. So immediately after the breakout, you're starting to have indecision candles, multiple indecision candles on the 1-minute chart. That was a nice entry to the short side. One thing though, if it bounces off the 9 EMA and starts coming back up, exit break even in this case. Don't hold it to your original stop loss, because you are going to be starting to form a bearish engulfing sandwich, which is a bullish pattern, and it's most probably is going to break up. Now it never hit your break even point. That was a good entry to the short side, and that was a great reversal out here. How many hours are you up today? I mean, you managed to catch really good moves on a choppy day like today. It was 4.5 hours. Awesome. Good job. You're doing really well with those reversals. I like it. You can share them if we have time. We'll take a look at them. I see that we still don't have a lot of trades in the question types, like 5 trades, 6 trades only. So we'll have time. So this trade here was taken by Cs. Let's see what you did. So you traded a reverse ABCD pattern on Nike. And let's take a look at this thing. So this is really good. I like it. So Nike on the 60-minute chart, it's dropping down. On the daily chart, it gapped down. On the 5-minute chart, I like your patience. Look at this. At the open, it's going up. And if the stock is weak on the 60 and on the daily, and you are the type of traders who wants to hold on to their runners and hold the position for a bigger move, avoid going against this and against this. The stock is going up, you don't do anything. Going up, you don't do anything. Now you are forming sort of a reverse head and shoulders pattern with a reverse ABCD pattern. You are making the lower lows and lower highs. This is the entry, closer to the C on a new low. I like it. That is the stop loss. I see the fake breakout. It held sort of a resistance around here. I actually didn't pay attention to it, but thanks for opening my eyes on it. So you see that it's holding this level around here, and then it's breaking, immediately going down. That was a really good entry to the short side, and that was a good risk to reward out there. This is great. I love it. I would have held on to this trade because now on the 60-minute chart, you are forming a bullish engulfing sandwich, and that's a bearish pattern, and most likely it is going to go lower. The next thing, we know that stocks, they make pullbacks, right? They don't just go straight down. They make pullbacks and then continuation, pullbacks and continuation. So there is no reason to sell all out. Leave 10%, 15% for the average to range move. 5 hours, good job. Was this your only trade for today? So Mick, let's see what you did. First trade was a short, and you got subbed out. Then you flipped the position and went to the long side. IWM pushed through view up, added, took few partials, and then exited. Okay, that's good. I mean, there is nothing wrong with in flipping your position if there is a setup forming in your favor, right? The worst part about flipping your position is just simply getting impulsive. The short didn't work, then the long is going to work. Long is not working, okay, then the short is going to work, and then flipping up and down on a sideways market, just getting to max loss or even bigger than the max loss. 7 hours today. On a day like this, 7 hours, it's really good. By trade and that's and it's 0.7. Okay, I see that. You gave most of the profits back. But it's okay. I mean, green day is green day. I'm down today. I'm really happy for everyone who is green today. So let's see what you did here, Mick. Now, where is the 1-minute chart? So this is not bad, honestly. You had a hammer followed by a reverse hammer. This reverse hammer, it just totally eliminates the power of the hammer, and it's going with the direction of the 15-minute chart and the daily chart to the downside. This is a 5-minute opening range breakdown, which unfortunately didn't work. Got you squeezed up. There is a range on the 1-minute chart, and the moment you break the range, you could flip your position and take it to the long side with the stop loss the middle of the range. Now this small range around here gets retested. Remember the stages: range, breakout, retest, and then continuation. Nice partials. I think you decreased your position because you still had a lot and you didn't want to give any profits back, or you exited all at break even. This is a short. I think you exited all closer to break even. It didn't even hit your break even. I think you should have held. If the stock is not hitting your break even at all, there is no reason to exit out having like 0.01 hour profit, right? It's either break even, either it works out. This is what I usually think about. But still, I mean, it was a little bit difficult. I can understand that. This is an awesome short. I love it. Again, there is a small range. And this is exactly what, who took the trade with a small fake breakout? I think it was C's, right? Yeah, it was you. So this is doing the same thing. Small fake breakout, closing immediately as a doji. I love those. Really good short around here, partial all the way to view up and below it, and then exit the rest at break even. But look how ugly the market is, guys. It's just doing nothing, right? Candle up, few candles down, few candles up, breaking up, then it's dropping down. It's a horrible market to trade, honestly. And if any of you is still trading and struggling, I would just personally recommend stop trading for today and come back tomorrow for a new and fresh day. Maybe it will get better in the afternoon. Usually, tough openings like this, they start to run more clean after 1 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes after clean openings, it starts chopping for the rest of the day, right? This happens a lot. So you either come back in the afternoon or call it a day and come back tomorrow. Sam, I didn't hear from you in a while. Let's see what you did here. So you traded CGC to the long side today. Now, this is not a bad trade. Honestly, I don't like it for one reason. The daily and the 60 are weak on this thing. And the market today is weird. It just was weak and it immediately squeezed back up. But in terms of rules, if you go for it, it was uptrending. It broke the high of the day on the second candle, ascending triangle or an ABCD pattern. And it immediately just went against you with a fake breakout. We immediately see a fake breakout, you exit break even. I like how you managed this trade. You didn't hold it for a loss, went for the break, broke, immediately closed as a shooting star. This tells us this is a fake breakout, immediately cut the loser. This was awesome. Overall, the market was really tough here. I mean, the trade was good. I like it, but I personally will not be taking it because of the daily and the 60-minute chart. But good job cutting this loser around here. Minus for our day. Sorry to hear that. This happens. Green Jean, what is that? Okay, pivot point, or what is that? Okay, I'll wait. You can send another screenshot. Do they look like this on the 60-minute chart? Okay, I didn't know that. That's eyes hurting. Anyway, let's see what you did here. So 60-minute chart on this thing is weak. Daily chart is not bad. It's also overall weak. We're breaking the low of this range around here, and we'll have room all the way to the previous resistance. And if we break it, right, we'll have room a little bit lower. I wouldn't be so happy or so keen it going all the way down there. That will be bigger than the average true range. We already did the average true range move from 66 to 63, right? The $4 move. So what did you do in this thing? You tried to catch a parabolic reversal on it twice, right? First time, not parabolic, it's actually extreme reversal. Still not bad extreme reversal. There is a pattern, a double bottom, and it's bouncing off the previous resistance. You gave it a try to the long side. It got you stopped out. Then nice hammer, getting for the break of the range. And if it breaks the range, I would re-enter and put my stop loss in the middle of the range. Nice partials all the way up. I wouldn't add here unless that was a hotkey mistake. I have that rule which is telling me don't add on the way up because I don't know how big the pullback is going to be if I add around here, and I don't want to sacrifice my good average and then just simply get stopped out before and miss the whole run. This add, on the other hand, was really good. You're adding on the way up on an ABCD pattern on the 5 and on the 1 minute chart, and you held it all the way to 65. How many hours on this one? Accidentally entered in SIM. Okay, I see that. This is good. But 2 hours for this big move, I think either big partials or your first partials were before the 2 hours, right? What's your partials management most of the time? So you always partial at 1 hour, right? And how much do you take with your first partial? 50% at 1 hour. Does it work for you most of the time, or you feel that if you hold for bigger moves, you could do better? I don't want you to hold for 2 hours if it's not working for you, but it's something to check. You just go through all of your trades for the past month or 2 months and see how often do your trades hit the 2 hours. If they hit it like 60% to 70% of the time, then take your first partials at 2 hours just to increase your win rate. If you see that they are struggling to reach the 2 hours, then keep doing it the way you are doing it. Okay, awesome. Really good job. I love the trade. So Dave traded, what's this stock? Okay, this is the low float out there. 1 minute chart, 5. So this is not bad, honestly. You're having a 3-bar play or sort of 3-bar play on the 5-minute chart, taking it to the long side. Stop loss is tight. Now this is my main rule. Why am I not taking stocks on the way up? Because I don't know where to put my stop loss at. And if you are taking it on all the way up here, you know that your stop loss needs to be the low of the second bar. Right, this would be your stop loss, and that's a little bit too wide to have it as stop loss. That's why I personally would avoid the first entry, and I would be entering after the ABCD pattern, because now, at least on the ABCD pattern around here, you have a 5-minute open range breakout, second candle. We said best entries on the first candle, decent entries on the second, never entries on the third. Why don't we enter on the third? Because usually after 3 candles there is a pullback. So the first, you can't really enter on it because the stop is so wide. The second is good because now you're having a clear stop loss, and you did that. You re-entered. I love that. That was really good. Now your stop loss is tighter. You are partially all the way up, but I would have held because we know that there could still be a third candle, which is here. Hold more, and now on the third, exit most of your position. I discussed these details with you guys on my last webinar, how to manage an open position. Take a look at it. It could be really helpful. But yeah, this is really good. I like this. I like this. Could have held it a little bit more, but this was not the greatest. One rule: never go long against a shooting star. Shooting star is basically a setup which is telling you that the stock could, or a candlestick which could tell you that at least now we're going to be forming not a reversal, at least a pullback, right? So you don't want to go long against shooting stars or short against hammers. I love your second re-entry, and good job getting yourself stopped out. So Nadia traded Can, another parabolic reversal, really good. So let's take a look at this thing. Again, same thing, going to the 200 moving average. After a hammer, there is a reverse hammer, which totally eliminates this around here. Taking it to the short side. This was a little bit of a late entry. I think it dumped fast. Did you get slippage here, Nadia? A better entry would have been somewhere around here or somewhere around here, like somewhere in the middle, right? Not at the low, because that's a little bit late. But you got slippage. Okay, that's fine then. Nice patience, good partial at the peak, and nice exit. Now look at this. It's just starting to go back up. It's starting to break up slowly. So I like the fact that you bailed on it out there and didn't hold it to your break even. On ABCD patterns, do you add to the trade on a pullback on the 1 minute chart, or do you wait for a pullback in the 5? This is a tricky question, Troy. Sometimes I wait for a new 5-minute high. Sometimes I add it on the 1 minute chart. It just depends how clean it looks like. I'll try to gather some examples and tell you when I'm exiting on the 1 and when I'm exiting the 5. I actually didn't pay attention to the volume. This is an igniting volume, a volume which starts the move. So yeah, that's really good, Nadia. Thanks for telling me about this one. So another short, like look at this. Most of the stocks today did the same thing, right? Going into the 200, starting to stall below it. Fake breakout. Look at this. Those are the best, those fake breakouts. Again, I guess some slippage, because a better entry would have been the moment it did a new low. Partialing all the way down to the 9 EMA, because we know that after the 9 it could go. And at the 9, you're exiting most of your position. Remember that. That held a lot to break even. So Dave, let's see your Mara trade. So this is good. I like this one. This is more clean, right? On the 5-minute chart, there is an ABCD pattern after a hammer. I personally Don't like it much because it's going against the 200 and it's against after a parabolic pullback. I love those on a W shape, but I could see that it wasn't like an exact V reversal. It is sort of fake reverse ABCD on the one, and then it's starting to wave slightly up, which is not making it the worst, not the best at the same time, but the entry at least is on the second 5-minute candle, and we know that it could make a third 5-minute candle. Knowing that, you should leave a little bit of your position to partial at a bigger run. Good job. Thanks, Nadia. I'm going to update the parabolic reversal webinar. I was supposed to update it this month, but unfortunately this month we had some changes in plans. I'm not going to be doing any webinar on April, a little bit busy. So I think I'm going to update it on May. Maybe in April if I get a little bit more free, but for now it's scheduled for May. You will see that the win rate on those parabolic reversal will increase a lot by updating some of the rules right there. Anyway, let's see what you did here on AMD. This is good. Reverse ABCD pattern on the 5-minute chart, right? It's not a parabolic pullback. It's type 2 where it's slightly or steadily going up, green, red, green, red. It's steadily pulling back. On the 1-minute chart, there is an M shape. You took it to the short side. Really good stop loss here or here. Both would be really good. Partialing, exiting the rest at break even. Unfortunately, I wouldn't have exited break even, to be honest, in this trade because it's still hugging the 9 EMA. And as long as the stock is below the 9 EMA, it is still good. So Dave, yeah, this is the third trade where you have taken it. This one we discussed, right? It would have been better to just avoid it because on the one it looked good, definitely. On the one it looked good, but we also need to pay attention to the 5-minute chart and how it looks like on the 5-minute chart. Let me show you my bad trades today. So this is BAC. I've taken 2 trades today, and both of them were on this stock. Why was I short biased? And I was honestly so short biased on it. And this was my favorite stock basically for today. Everything else I didn't like much. I like this one because first of all, we didn't gap down. And the fact that we didn't gap down made it look better for me. Why is that? Because when the stock gaps down, it could go up and fill the gap, and it could go with the direction of the gap and sell off. So there is 50% probability that it will go lower, 50% probability that it will go higher. Today, we opened at the place we closed yesterday, and for 2 days in a row, we had reverse hammers. So this is telling me that on the daily chart, we're most likely to go to the downside, and I see that we're having room at least all the way to 36. And looking at this, from 37 to 36, that's basically its average true range. So I was so hopeful that it could easily go to the $36 area. 60-minute chart, nice candles. We're making a reverse ABCD pattern, really good 2 bearish candles. And at the open, we're going all the way to the high, not making a new high, and squeezing back down. So that also gave me some hope that this thing could go lower. Now I'm watching at the 5-minute chart. And by the way, guys, this is not a third candle. This all is the first candle. This is an inside bar candle, basically a harami candle, right? Which giving me confirmation that this thing could go even lower. And I took it to the short side on this candle around here. Let's go to the 1-minute chart. There is a reverse ABCD pattern where I took it to the short side and I put my stop loss at the C. Got me stopped out, full R loser. I didn't give up on it. I continued watching it, and the second trade wasn't the best, but wasn't the worst at the same time. So this candle immediately engulfed and it broke the low of the day. One thing which I didn't like is that we squeezed up and then we squeezed down. And having this huge drop around here on BAC was too much. Why is that? When I shorted this thing at 36.70, I put my stop loss at 36.90 something, just a little bit around this moving average, and that's around 25 cents. Just to add on a pullback and then decrease my my average. Now, 25 cents stop loss on BAC is too much. Why is that? We already did around 45 cents move, and I'm asking for 50 cents move only to hit 2 Rs. Basically, I want to do the full average true range move only to hit 2R. That was a bad risk to reward. So this trade, in terms of setups, I don't think it was the worst. It is the first 5-minute candle. This is the bearish, the bullish engulfing sandwich, where the bullish candle gets engulfed by bearish candles from both sides, and it's breaking a pre-market level. It bounced off the pre-market low to the penny, unfortunately, which was unlucky. Here, I forgot a rule. Gigi told me if it bounces to the penny from the pre-market low, just bail on the trade. But anyway, the setup itself, it was decent. It wasn't the worst. And I knew that now we're actually changing it and we're going to the upside, making higher highs and higher lows. There is no reason to hold to 36.95. So I bailed on this thing at half R loser, 1.5 R losers on BAC. And after that, I saw that the market and everything I'm watching is just going sideways. Decided to stop watching it. Why stop loss on C on the first trade above the 1-minute candle break could have been why stop loss on C? Okay, you mean why didn't I put it here? My stop loss? Cool, because we are chopping. We are chopping in the range. And if I take it here and look at this, there is a level somewhere around here. It would just simply drop, make a higher low on the, a lower high on the 5-minute chart, pull back all the way here, then drop down and form sort of a descending triangle on the 5-minute chart before the breakdown. You see, I'm just trying to anticipate what might happen in the future based on what I have around here. There is a level around here. We're chopping around within the range. We're not breaking down. So I can't really tighten my stop loss when we're just chopping in a range. We could just make a new high, new low, new high, new low, making it lower highs and lower lows, and then drop down, going with the favorable direction to the downside. If this candle around here, let's just take all those three candles. Let's just take all those three candles and put them a little bit lower. Put them here. Okay? If you take those three and put them a little bit lower, and then this candle, I'm taking it for the break of the low, yes, there is literally no reason to have a wide stop loss on it. If we break, we're going to run at least a little bit, then pull back for the retest, or maybe a little bit above my break even, and then continue. Yeah, exactly. There are no fixed rules for stop losses. Sometimes it's a little bit higher, sometimes it's a little bit lower, and it depends on the price action intraday. And you could see that even on this trade, my stop loss was way up there because I see that this thing is choppy. It's just doing nothing, and I don't feel comfortable on it unless we're just breaking the low. So that is it. Do you guys have any questions? All right, thank you guys. So trade safe for the rest of the day, and we'll talk again tomorrow in the chat room. Bye bye.